What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Ghost of Lord Master Starscream. And today will be a different stream because since we deal with Ruben and Autocorrect Primer deal with depression, and here quite recently, I'm sure you have been noticing a tone and a change in my attitude during my live streams. And I'm going to share some stuff, and we'll be sharing some stories on like how we got through our depression and how it makes us stronger when we all come together. And hopefully we'll give you guys some advice on how you could fight it yourselves and don't let no one bring you down. And as Autocorrect Primer says, since this is a community for all of us, a community for all of us is exactly that. And I will be reading a Bible scripture later on, and because this will be dealing with stuff since I know here quite recently I did drop out of a relationship due to stuff I won't mention, but some stuff I will mention. But I will be reading a Bible scripture for those who are in a relationship and has dropped out of it, I should say, and they're, I guess, having terrible thoughts, going through depression. I will be reading that scripture, even if they think that they're about to lose the relationship. And yeah, and with that, I think that's about it. And as always, I'm joined today by Ruben, and here today I'm joined by Autocorrect Primer. And welcome, guys. I'm glad you're able to join tonight.
Same here, my man. I hope y'all are doing well. Sorry I haven't been been able to join so much, but typically with my medicine that I'm taking, I typically will hopefully fall asleep, because apparently sleeping is supposed to be good, and I'm supposed to be doing it, but I don't always. But yeah, how y'all doing? Hey, Ruben, are you getting killed by animals right now?
I'm getting swacked!
That's so sad. That's so sad. When you let animals abuse you.
Yeah.
And I'm running out of rocket ammo.
And yeah, and as of for the last couple hours, I've been getting better and getting everything all figured out, I should say.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not going to all happen at once. I mean, even today, I spoke to a PA dealing with even my depression. Something that I typically don't do is really be really open up about stuff like that. But I'm learning. It's like I do it for I listen to other people and try to help other people, but sometimes I forget that even I myself need to have help. And I think that's kind of like something that happens to all of us, is that we get so wrapped up, or we think it's weak or bad if we ask for help.
Yes. And yeah, and I will say this, depression is a very dangerous thing. Even to this day, there's some people out there that won't help you. Even here quite recently, hold on, I'm trying to figure out the word. I don't know what it was I was looking for, but since a lot of people out there don't care about if you're dealing with depression, that just makes people even more depressed, and it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Even when people just brush it off their shoulder. Hey, Dragon Slayer, I'm glad.
Glad you.
Go ahead.
Or they expect you to be able to get over it, or a thing that because with depression and stuff like that, to get help, I used to think that it was a weakness. And then after I had my, what I call my dark moment, I just couldn't get out of my head. I learned that it's not a weakness. It's a weakness not to get help.
Yes.
And I want to say this and make sure I put this out there. There is a 1-800 number for suicide, that if anybody's dealing with their depression gets that far, there is a number to call. And you definitely, if you ever have those thoughts, make sure you talk to somebody.
Yes,
I want to make
definitely.
sure we put that out there so we didn't forget it.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yes, definitely. And I'm glad you shared that. Thank you, man. Can I join? Yes, you can, Dragon Slayer. I'll put a link out there. And and hang on. And since this is, I guess, like an intervention, if that's the right word I'm looking for, Otto, correct me if I'm wrong. I want to make sure I don't get, because I don't know what the right word is.
You're an intervention. Are we?
What is it?
Are we going to be
Or
confront somebody or?
hang on.
More,
I guess that's the wrong word I'm looking for. And guys, for those who are watching, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. Like when people go into a room or something like that, and they're sitting in a circle and they're sharing their stories about stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's where you're in the community or you're sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Gotcha.
Okay, so I got the wrong word.
Whenever somebody's interventions when somebody's like, needs to have an intervention by the family because they don't like the pattern that they're going down, or they've been drinking too much or doing drugs, or buying too much Transformers.
Plastic crack. That's what we're on.
That's right, plastic crack. Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, I sent you a link in the chat, Dragon Slayer. Hang on, let me. But anyways, yeah, the word I was looking for, like I said, that okay? But yeah. So is there anything you guys want to share, like stories? Like who wants to go first?
I vote for Ruben.
Nope.
Ooh.
I'll vote for Otto.
I'm not playing the video game.
I'm voting for Ruben.
It's not my fault. I just want to try to level up the goddamn worm. What do you want me to do?
2-1. 2-1. We voted you.
We voted you.
God damn it! You guys are trode.
Oh my gosh. Hey, and Ruben, if there's stuff you don't want to share, that's perfectly fine, man.
Absolutely.
You don't have to go into detail on what's going on, like even through relationships or past relationships and all that. Let me add to stream here. If there's anything you want to share, Ruben.
There's one I already told you.
Okay. If you'd like to share it, go ahead. Hey, Dragon Slayer, welcome.
Welcome, Dragon Slayer. Slay any dragons today?
Anyways. Let's see if I can remember, because my memories are like really bad. I had met that one girl, which I kind of forgot her name. Okay, so my memories are like pretty messed up. I used to know her on Google Plus. If you guys don't know what it is, it used to be like a social media thing on Google, but they kind of remove it on. Just when they remove it, oh my god, it's been a long time. I'm not gonna lie. So we both fell in love, and we've been nice to each other. We love each other. Hell, I didn't even tell her what I do for my content, since I always keep forgetting stuff. But after the goddamn hurricane in Houston, I think it was during 2018 or 2019, I don't remember. She blocked me for no reason. I was like, shit. Then I was depressed for about a week. Then I just moved on.
Sounds like it just still hurt though, right?
The what going when I after the breakup, right?
Right.
I was completely hurt. I was like, shit. Well, I try to control my emotions enough. I told my dad I have a girl, but I didn't tell my mom, and my mom figured out she will. Oh, I swear to God.
She'll get upset.
No, she'll be pissed at me.
Okay. And is there any advice you want to offer to people that are out there that may be going through the same thing you went through?
The one advice is feel upset. The only thing is try to listen to some calm music. Just play with your games. I don't know for how long, and think that pretty much that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that pretty
think
much
it's.
that's it.
I
Go
kind of
ahead.
also think that sometimes, especially for myself, um, you can't change people, so but you can only, you have to, you can change yourself, you can work on yourself, but you can't always rely on other people to do the same thing. Because, I mean, one thing I was talking to a friend about is that, in the real world, people aren't nice. It's not like you're going to be able to go to your little rainbow room and everything's going to be hunky dory, because, in life, people are mean, cruel,
Dicks.
yeah. So, for me, what I've having to do for myself is understand and say, okay, I can't do anything about them, except if they're so toxic in my life, then I need to cut them out of my life. But how I handle a situation or how I feel about a situation, that's something that I have to do for myself to make sure I'm still into good thoughts and in a good state of mind. But it takes a little bit. I mean, and that's why there's also other help that's out there, and a community that comes together and helps one another out. And you don't let people be bullied or manipulated or said that they don't matter. That's that's something that I've been happy about our community, is that we've been very open to letting people in and helping one another. And that we've noticed, or we try to notice, if one of us is going through something.
Hey, TFN Geek, welcome to
TFN Geek.
the stream.
Greetings, everyone.
Bless you.
Thank you.
How are you?
I've had an allergy attack all day, but it's for a very good reason. I was dusting off a bunch of my Transformers, and it takes just one dust particle for my nose to become the next Niagara Falls.
Silly Nikki.
That's how bad my allergies are.
Yeah,
Oh
Nikki's allergic to every tree out there. So when they are blooming, she is like always sneezing. And then when we do the dusting, which we haven't done in a little while because her allergies have been horrible. But yeah.
So I finally got to record my video review of Kingdom Core Class Soundwave yesterday.
Oh,
yes,
congrats. I hadn't got a chance to see stuff. I hope to get caught up this weekend.
Yeah.
And
very, very cool. How you like him?
Oh, I like him a lot. I compared him to the Titans Return Leader Class Soundwave in my review to show how much mass shifting Soundwave undergoes every time he transforms.
Okay. I definitely have to watch that tonight.
So,
yeah.
And so,
but I also got a new Transformer armor yesterday.
Oh, what'd you get yesterday?
It's nothing too exciting. I was originally going to pass on this figure, but after watching someone's review on it, I realized, this character did appear in one of the cartoon series, so I figured, what would be the harm in getting...
Oh,
yes,
lucky.
Dragon Slayer, you can.
Transmutate.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your record will be going out on Monday, since we're going to be getting paid on Monday. I'm sorry it's taken so long for us to get that.
Oh, no worries on it, Kramer. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's in the box, and it's ready to rock and roll as soon
Yay.
as... yeah. So everything's done, and it'll go to the post office, and it'll be sent out to you ASAP. And then I will email you or text message you the tracking number for it.
Oh, thank you so very much, Primer. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, my man.
And yes, Dragon Slayer, you can share what you got before we continue with our conversation.
What'd you get?
Yes, I'm curious.
Me too.
Yeah, hopefully you're still there or still getting the stuff.
Oh, well, while
okay,
he's doing that, I'll show this to TFN Geek. Nope,
oh,
he's already got
nice.
his up.
Rust. That's Studio Series
Oval.
Thrust, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, what did he find? Oh,
Kingdom RC.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Got a female.
Well, y'all,
Robot.
just to let y'all know, Baby Mahal has lost all her Transformers.
No, what happened?
What?
Yeah, so
Ooh.
I am slowly trying to find stuff to
Nice.
help replace her Transformers that she. Yeah, so if
No.
anyone's so I did get her Scorponok, and when we get paid, I hope to be able to get her that RC. But yeah, she's going through some things, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
the
Keep her in prayer.
yeah, keep her in prayer. Yeah,
Yes.
so,
Oh, we
yeah.
will.
How she
And-
lost them?
I think that's
Um,
private.
Yeah, I could share that later. She asked me not to
Okay.
share that on a live thing.
Okay.
And
I
also got
understand.
this guy too.
Oh. Oh, nice. G2 Ramjet.
Yep.
Nice. I had to pass on Ramjet and Sandstorm. I just can't afford them right now. But 2 of our 3 cars broke down and had to be checked. And for the amount of money we had to pay out, my family basically told me you either have to choose between the Transformers you buy or the food you buy at the grocery store. So my stomach growled at me right after they said it by coincidence. So
Mhm.
my
I understand that.
my digestive system got the winning vote.
There you go. Same here.
Hmm.
Same here. We've
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I actually can't. I was actually going to buy a second copy of the Studio Series 86 NAW so I could have more than one Sharkticon.
Oh, you
But-
got no?
Yeah, I forgot I haven't shown you yet, Autocorrect Primer. Look. Ta-da.
Oh, nice. Nice.
He was
Definitely
up
going.
for
Oh,
He was up for pre-order last month on GameStop, and the day
oh, snap.
few days after I pre-ordered him from GameStop, they sent me an surprise email saying he's ready to be sent to you. And then literally that same day that they told me he was coming, he came.
Very
And
cool.
that same day that GameStop released the pre-orders, they sold
Mhm.
out of him, and they're still sold out of him.
Dang. I'm hoping Big Bad Toy Store is going to let me know when he's going to drop, and also my Jolt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was going to get a second copy of Gnaw from Amazon so I could army build the deluxe class Sharkticons like I did the Legends class versions from the Titans Return line.
Right.
But I decided for now to get as many Transformers characters as I can, so I canceled my Amazon pre-order of Gnaw to get Transmutate added to my collection.
Don't blame me. I did get the side swipe and
Skywarp.
Skywarp. The Amazon
And hi,
exclusives.
Megatronus Primal.
Hello.
Hello.
And
All right. Now you were
Yeah.
asking us some things, Ghost.
yeah. So I guess you forgot what you were saying a little bit ago, Otto.
I did. That's why I was hoping you could give me a refresher, and then I would say.
Yeah, I wish. I'd have to go back through this. It's okay.
Y'all know that my
Maybe-
brain don't work. Y'all
Yeah.
trying to make me
Talking about
think.
Baby Mahal, and then I forgot.
Yeah,
what you
after the
said
thing with
after
Baby Mahal, my brain was like gone.
Yep.
Well,
It's
I don't know
like
if
a
this
squirrel.
I don't know if this will help refresh your brain, Autocorrect Primer. But feast your eyes on this.
Very, very nice. Very nice. I'm hoping to. I haven't got confirmation yet, but I'm hoping to get confirmation on the other one. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, both
I
sets.
still need them.
Yeah, that's so,
So
cool.
And
just be warned. One thing I've seen on TFW2005.com,
Mhm.
apparently it's quite a common QC issue. The Autobot logo Mirage has in his vehicle mode, one side is higher up than the other, so he has a lopsided Autobot logo that looks like it's been sliced.
Oh, that sucks. Well, can't be any bad as me getting Barricade from the battalion class, and he has 2 left bumpers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That happened with that one?
Yeah, still a good Transformer though.
No,
For
yeah.
$5, it's a great
Yeah.
Transformer.
I've been looking
Yes.
everywhere for that version of Barricade, and I've never found it.
You gotta.
If I come across another one, I was surprised by when I saw Ninja Bill's review of him. I was like, if he's that much fun, and we happened to stop because we had to get a friend and we had to get some stuff for a friend of ours and for us. And there's a Dollar General right down the road from us, so it was there. The only Barricade I've ever seen in the store. They had an Optimus, they had a Bumblebee, and then at the very, very back there was Barricade. I was like, it's meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming home with
All
me
right.
tonight.
Exactly.
Nice. That's yeah. And since Ruben and now continuing on our topic, since Ruben went first, who would like to go next since and talk and like since TFN Geek just joined, like since we're talking about depression and the stuff we went through, if there's stuff you would like to share, that's fine. But if there's stuff you don't wish to share, that's okay too, man. Just let me
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
And is there who else would like to? Is there anyone that who would like to go next? 'Cause I'm-
You know, I don't mind. I don't mind
okay.
going next. You know, to recognize that you deal with depression, the first thing is to recognize that you have it. Sometimes that's a lot easier said than done because when you have someone like me who the family kind of relies on being that rock and being someone that they can lean upon and don't think there's any way that rock's going to ever break or be able to break. Um, I think that for me, letting people down. I mean, even when I spoke with uh, the the doctor today, she was like, "You really don't. You're really not easy on yourself at all. You're really hard on yourself." And I guess because for me, it's very, very important that no one feels left out, no one feels forgotten, no one feels as if they're not important. And
As if they're an outcast.
yeah, and in our community, some that really bothered me, which I have not gone into detail about, but that's what was happening, and that was difficult for me because I was like, that's not what we're supposed to be about. And I'm like, if it's all about the numbers or all about the subscribers, I don't want to be a part of that. And a lot of people didn't like the stance that I took on it. But I was like, if somebody's you don't know how someone else's day is. And then for me to have to deal with what was going on with my wife and also within our community, because there's some really not nice people in our community that really was hard on me. And dealing with no one knowing personally what we were going through with Nikki's health. And also dealing with trolls on top of that. I didn't realize that I had already been spiraling down into a mindset that was unhealthy. And I didn't have anyone to talk to because, to be honest, and I love you guys, and I'm so glad I have y'all in my as community. But to me, you know, I say I'm the caveman, but I'm more like the surrogate father for our group. Um, that's why I love getting figures for everybody and doing stuff for everybody, because y'all make me extremely happy. Um, but when I was going through, a lot of y'all don't know this, but Nikki almost died. So
No.
yes, so I was dealing
Oh
with that, and she's doing better. She still has issues with her short-term memory, but I almost lost her, and I was dealing with people within the supposed to be a part my friends in the community that ended up not being my friends. And when I broke, and because apparently I said bad words in one of my videos, which I ended up taking down, because because that's just not me. I just don't want to be that negative person. That was really hurtful. It was extremely, very, very extremely hurtful. Certain people knew the situation, and I took a stance for some of the people in our community and said, no, I don't think they're trying to spam a live stream. I don't think they're trying to ask for anything. I think they're just wanting our community to be like that, be that a community. And dealing with what I was dealing with Nikki, I gotta be honest with you, it was very difficult for me to come back. Now, Ultimate Wolf and Ghost, they both knew a lot more than anyone else knew. But Ultimate Wolf ended up doing what the other group was wanting to do, making a certain only kind of like only club members could come in. Like you had to get past this, and this to be able to come on and be a part of the community. And one of the issues I had is that I started the Facebook page, and someone had taken the Facebook page of a community for all of us and made it where you had to be approved to be a member of the Facebook page. And I was like, this isn't what I want to put my name to. And I was like, I don't have anything to prove to anybody because I know how precious life is, and this is a hobby, and this is fun. Let's not make it like a workplace and make it too serious. And I think a lot of people didn't know the stuff that I was still going through. But you guys are the ones that I've stuck with because y'all are the ones that actually cared. You know, if I wasn't around, either I was getting an email from somebody, or I was getting a message on Discord, or people that already had my number was personally texting me, and that was huge help because we don't know what people are going through when they're away from the keyboard. What we do on screen is not our real life that we're going through. And I don't think people recognize that. But I just wanted to share that. Y'all don't know about that. You don't know about what happened for Nikki. She's actually starting to put some of this up on her own podcast, where she's now able to discuss, you know, how a botched surgery and how your health can be taken out of your hands, and there's nothing you can do, because even Nikki deals with depression. I mean, she was a teacher for 20 years. Could you imagine being a teacher for doing a job that you love for 20 years, being told you could never go back to it? So we were dealing with that. We were dealing with the fact that we were going to one income. And so, but yeah, and there's people in our community now that I reach out to and I talk to that are dealing with the same thing with loved ones. And, you know, one of them said the other day to me, it was like, I feel like I need to reach out, and you're the first name that popped up. And he's like, you reached right back out. And I was like, well, that's what it's supposed to be. I don't hold any grudges, to anybody. But that's why it's so important to me to have a community for all of us. Is just that. It needs to be for anyone who comes in, whether they've been around, one day, or they've been around since day one. Because we don't know what each one of us go through each day.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can relate to that completely.
Yes.
That's what I was going through the previous 2 years.
Yeah, because you lost your.
I had to quit college to help my family take care of my grandma.
Mm,
And like you and I, you lost your grandmother. I lost my grandfather,
Yeah.
and that's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah. But that wasn't the. But her dying wasn't the worst part of it. It was actually how she was deteriorating before she went. My grandma had to be every 2 hours while she was lying down. She had to be rolled over to one side to another side of her body because she developed pressure sores from being on one side for too long. So every 2 hours for, I want to say, 9 months, I had to get up in the middle of the night and help my family flip my grandmother over
wow.
from dusk to dawn.
Mm.
And then a few months ago, and then when this year started, I upset some Transformers collectors who do have their own channels here on YouTube, and they are on Discord. But I said something that upset them, and when I tried to apologize, they didn't want to hear my explanation. They just told me to get lost and to stop whining about the problems in your life. They only wanted to talk Transformers, not anything else.
See, that's not what this community is supposed to be
Yeah.
about.
One of them even banned me from their YouTube channel, and I've never been able to go back on since then. So
Mm.
I realized that not everyone in the Transformers community was as friendly as I would hoped that they would have been.
That's been the big shocker, is that, you know, I know that we love Transformers, and we're not doing the stuff with Transformers because we're expecting to have a huge following.
Exactly.
And certain people, it just do it because they want the numbers, and that's fine. That's all they're going to want. But I can't see the problem that I also saw is that certain ones, they want to have the big numbers, that are complaining about other YouTube channels and not even going to that YouTube person and, you know, speaking to them personally. They were just making assumptions that they thought they were right, but yet certain one, you know, was, especially with someone was getting, they were saying was getting Transformers too early and shouldn't be able to do that. And I was like, well, where they live and how that works out. He's still buying it from Hasbro. He's able to go to their warehouse, and that's why sometimes you see things mistransformers, because they're faulty transformers. So they're still buying them and still putting them out there. And then all of a sudden, within the next 2 weeks, that the persons that was complaining about that person was now having Transformers before they went out on the shelf, and that was because they were getting it from another seller that was an online seller. And I was like, that's no difference. And so yeah, I understand where you're coming from, TFNG, because when I stood up and said something about that, there's certain ones that I'm not allowed to go to their site anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember. And it was actually, I compliment this one person I upset. I actually left a compliment about something he typed, and he had me banned from the Discord server that we were on because he just didn't want me to even compliment on stuff he was talking about. He didn't want to have anything to do with me, and he still doesn't. That was back in January, mind you, and he's made it clear he doesn't want me around at all.
That's the reason why I'm not a part of the other community that I was doing a podcast with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I do want to point this out. This is why I'm doing this also, because you know the other guys would not do a live stream talk about stuff like this. Because it's like the fame and all that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite lines in Spider-Man Homecoming, as the Vulture said to Spider-Man, the rich and the powerful, they don't care about us. We have to eat their table scraps and all that. And that's like them. They don't care about us. They only they care about themselves.
Yeah. When that one person told me, we only talk about Transformers and nothing else, so don't leave it personally, I was like, Okay, wait a minute. Isn't like asking me to not talk about something? Doesn't that technically violate my First Amendment right to freedom of speech?
It is. And if they don't, and they definitely wouldn't want someone, because trust me, I already has told some of them the same thing they told to others, that their poop stinks, and they don't like it when someone puts it in their face back at them. And
Mm-hmm.
in our community, like I said, you have no idea what someone's going through.
Oh, yeah.
Um, for some of you, when I was gone for the week that I was gone, a lot of you don't know why I was missing. I was actually in the hospital. Because I had some things that, health wise, mentally wise, that I had to try and get back at least some of my humanity or my insanity, my sane, instead of being the insane side. But yeah, I that was the thing I said in our community, is that I wanted us to know, if someone, let's say someone had a fire, I would want our community to come together and say, okay, they lost stuff. Let's see if we can help them. And I still want us to do that. I still love the fact that we do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm a type of person that, and for anyone, and I'm not saying anything that if no one else is a Christian, I'm not saying anything to hurt anybody's feelings, but to me it says to do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Exactly. I live by the Bible.
Yeah.
I treat everyone the way I want to treat them. That's why I never that's why I never curse. And if I have anything to say bad about anybody, I just zip my lip, and I know that metaphor. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. That's the metaphor I try to live by. I have never, even though I've lost my temper a couple of times in my life, I do admit I have an anger, and because I do my best to never get angry, when I do, I scare myself when my anger escapes. But the point I'm trying to make is that I live by the Bible. I can't remember what verse it is that autocorrect primer just said, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So I try to give everyone the utmost respect and kindness that I can give them. And it just amazes me how some people willingly do the opposite and show anger openly to other people.
Yes. And that's the thing with me too. And I'm going to share mine real quick, and I'm hoping some people I know are watching this, because I will be making an apology, even on live. But I've been going through anger issues during my first official relationship. I'm not going to mention any names, because I'm going to say this. They're going to remain anonymous, if that's the right word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
No names.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, no names. You're right.
Yeah. And yeah, she was, I'll say this. She went to church and all that, and I did not know any better. I was 19 at the time, and I did not know she was a sexual predator. And I figure, in my state of mind, people tried to warn me that what she was, and I didn't understand. So I still tried to help her, but by the end of it, I let my emotions get the better of me, and it all got in the way. And then I kept looking at people in a mean way, like, ugh, get out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
As if I was putting all the blame on them. And shortly after that, after me moving in with my sister, and I still thank her to this day for that, I ended up getting in a relationship the day after my birthday, and things went well for a while. And like I said, after going through the photos this evening, I believe, I started seeing a pattern that me as a Christian, I kept falling back due to my anger during that last relationship. And hold on a minute. And but during the relationship I was currently in recently, I kept falling back into stuff I guess I wouldn't normally do. I went to a crazy band or something like that with my half brother back in 2019, and I started going off the rails, I should say, and I kept doing it, and it kept developing more anger and all that. And also, because of the first relationship I was in, I developed trust issues, and also I thought that every woman was like that. So, but for a while, the relationship I was in was going good. Then I just started getting angry, frustrated, thinking she was lying to me and all that, and I lashed out. And I'm not gonna, but like Otto told me, he went through the same thing. I said some things that you wouldn't believe. I said some terrible stuff I wouldn't normally say, and I kept getting a chance after a chance after a chance. And since it's been going on for, go ahead. I'll
You
just
might
get it out of the way.
cut in for a moment.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
No, I was just going to say, but see, that's the thing too, is that like I was telling you, and like even for ourselves, if we're not happy with ourselves, it's going to be hard to have a relationship or friendship with others around us if we're not happy. And it's not something that you're just going to be all of a sudden wake up one day and have a magic pill or some magic thing happen. It's just something that's going to take time and be slow at, but it means that you recognize the problem and you acknowledge the problem. Now you have to make it a permanent thing within you to do better, not redo the same pattern over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And see, like I said, and I won't say what it is, and I'm sure I'm going to get some text messages later on, but that's fine. As long as they know I'm sorry for what I did. I used stuff that I shouldn't have been using against her because I did not know better. I thought I let my anger get the best of me, and since this has been going on for 2 years, I'll just say this. I ended up sending the wrong message to her, and her mom got it, and oh shoot, Otto. Oh, he'll come back in a minute. Her mom ended up getting it, and that was the line drawn right there. And that's why I've been having a different tone through my live streams recently, because even though I was such a total jerk, she showed she still loved me and all that. And plus, the reason why I did come back to start doing YouTube after, I believe, 2018, I think. I can't remember when the last video I did was, years ago. I'll have to go back and look. She encouraged me to start doing YouTube again. Even streams I did not want to do, she encouraged me to get back into it. And after realizing the stuff I'd done wrong, I literally, and I'm hoping Otto will, let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Let me make sure I keep it on my phone just in case I get a
Welcome
text.
to Otto, by the way.
I think, yeah, you might have had a glitch. I'll find out in a minute. And
It's backstage.
no, I'm keeping an eye on it right now.
Oh, okay.
Let's go into GDS.
And yeah, after all the wrong I've done, I started recently regretting all that and wishing I could go back and change what I did. And as there's a TikToker or a TikTok person out there that is a Christian that gives good advice, I wish I could share some of the videos on here, but I don't think I can because I think it would result in me getting copyright struck. You good, Otto?
Yeah, sorry about
Awesome.
that. My thing glitched for a second. I was trying to get back. And then I hit the wrong StreamYard. I hit an older one. It says, it's already ended. And I was like, what? It's already ended?
Oh, bummer. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
My
yeah. Oh, and as I was saying, and this guy said that there is no edit button in this life. You cannot go back and change what you did or edit it. The only thing you can do is move forward. And also, and another thing that he said, and I think I've been sending these to Otto on TikTok and also Ruben, that since I'm no longer with her, and I still grieve every day. Even when I ended the last couple of streams I've been doing, it's been since last Friday, and the one last Friday was the last time I talked to her, and every time I ended a stream, I cried, and I took a walk outside. I nearly did things that I did not want to do, and I was glad to have God right there with me. And as I was saying, like the guy said, that you just because this part of the story was bad doesn't mean you won't have you can't have a happy ending. You could still have a happy ending on this next stretch of road, where the healing will begin. And
you also have to learn how to forgive people.
Yes.
You know, and then let it go. Forgive people, let it go. Because the worst thing we can do is when we start thinking. Here's the thing: if someone's done something to us and it's been really negative or hurtful, and all we have is where we're upset, we're angry, can't believe that person did that to us, that person probably is never going to think again, you know, about us in any way. That's why, you know, and how we act, especially as Christians. And I appreciate what TFN Geek said. You know, by also, I'm not perfect. I still do use curse words. I have gotten a lot better.
We all ain't perfect.
Exactly.
All we can do is do the best we can and be the best us we can. Yeah.
And make sure that make sure we forgive not only others, but forgive ourselves.
Yes. And this brings me to since people are probably going through stuff like that through their relationships and all that, and right now my cat's going crazy right now. And as I was going through the relationship, I've been having him do some wedding or not wedding counseling or some marriage counseling. Is that what it was, Otto?
Where we were that and making sure you. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Am I mute? No. Yeah. Okay, I was making sure I
wasn't. No, you're not muted. No, you're not muted. You're good. Okay. You're good. Yeah.
No. I was saying, to help out and make sure y'all were working together and learning each other. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. And he ended up giving me. One time we were going through a breakup, and I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. It did not. But Otto gave me a scripture from the Bible that, or kind of like letting me know this ahead of time before you realize the decision by tomorrow. And I'm going to show this off. I'm going to full screen myself. And hang on. I guess you got yours pulled up, Otto. Okay, I'm going to hang on. And hopefully, and Otto, if you want to unmute and read it, or read the and it's on this part of the Bible right here. If you want to read that, Otto.
Is it the first chapter or the third chapter?
Hang on. All right, hang on. It's in this part of the Bible right here.
Yeah.
And it's hold on. Right here.
Okay, it's the time for everything. The one thing I said. Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
Chapter.
And I will say this, for those who are going through relationships, this is for everyone out there to know, and I guess even if you're not in a relationship. And I'm going to go ahead.
What verse is that?
This is going to be Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And
he's opening up his
Bible. And since I got Ghost a ESV, I'll be reading out of the ESV one, and then because I do have the King James one, but this is one that I was trying to show that everything's within its season, and everything has to happen. So, Ecclesiastes chapter 3. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to pluck and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time for peace. And what this is saying is there is always, in every season, there's going to be the good and the bad. And for us, we're supposed to look more to the good than we are to the bad. We're supposed to, within ourselves, not do the second part, which is typically the sad or the bad part. Because then it goes on, it says, what gain has the worker from his toil? I have seen the business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. He's made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity into man's heart. Yes, so that he cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. I perceive that there is nothing better for them than to be joyful and to do good as long as they live. Also, that everyone should eat, drink, and take pleasure in all his toil. This is God's gift to man. So when there's a time for everything, at the end of the day, you're going to be the worker. You're going to be doing the work. But at the end, you got to be pleased with what God's given you and be humbled with what it's giving you. We might not, it's like I told Ghost when I was talking to him earlier, I said, sometimes the answer God gives is no.
Yes,
a lot of people don't want to hear that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll share that also. And ever since the breakup, I've been regretting every single thing I have done. I've cried and I've asked God to bring her back into my life so I could at least make things right. And I compared, and as I was talking to Otto, and I felt like I was abandoned and he wasn't real, and I felt like I was being punished for what I was doing or what I have done. And after talking to Otto, and I compared God, no offense to those who are out there, but the Watcher from the What If series, that he'll watch the events play out, but he cannot interfere on what happens. And I never thought of that, because God, as much as we fight and do wars down here, and I guess get in gunfights and all that, God watches it, but he cannot interfere.
Yeah, God gives us free will, and we have the choice to follow his will. We have a choice to stay away from his will. When we're in his will, then he can actually do things more in our life than when we're not in his will. Because when we're not in his will, that means that we've walked away from him. And he can't do a whole lot, because one thing about God is that he doesn't take away our free will. You choose to either accept him or you choose not to accept him. But it's our place to understand that it's our walk, that our testimony needs to be our walk with him. It doesn't have to be where we're looking at people and pointing out all their faults. Because one scripture that comes to mind, it says that, before you try and tell your brother to take the speck out of his eye, you need to take the beam out of your own eye. And that means we have to work more on ourselves and have a relationship with Jesus more than we're trying to tell people that what they're doing in their life is wrong and bad. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. And I want to also say, for those who are out there that are doing or are about to do the same thing I did, just say this. I'll just say this: the end result is never going to be good. I did my best to try to do some things on my own when I didn't have anyone around, but I don't want to say like this. It just brought pain into my life, but I had to learn a lesson from it, and I've been saying that for quite some time. But even though I did it, I just wanted to make sure that no one falls in the same or goes down my path. It's never worth it. And I'm trying to figure out the word, what else I was going to say, and like I said, in the Bible verse that was just read, and if you got out of a relationship or anything like that, just read that verse, I guess, over and over, and or if you watch this video, just listen to it and all that. And darn it, I just had the word I was looking for, but I don't know what it was. It'll come back to me in a minute, but go ahead. Whoever wants to say anything. Anything you want to say, Otto?
I pretty much said a whole lot, but I'll let y'all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to look on the positive side of things, and I'm starting to realize that the people in the Transformers community that got upset with me, I realized after a while, maybe God was steering me away from them because those are the people He didn't want me to be have any influence from. I mean, if they're going to concentrate on the negative and pointing out flaws, that's not what I'm about. I'm about redeeming qualities and spreading kindness wherever I go. That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad you guys can agree with me on so many things, not just Transformers related, but with life in general.
Yes, and that's another
Absolutely.
thing. Since I always went to her for things and like a shoulder to cry on, and since I know a lot of guys out there, especially me, it can affect them mentally and physically, and that's the thing. Since I no longer have her in my life, all I can say is this: I mean this, and this will also go for those who are out there. You are always welcome to be a part of this community, because a community for all of us is exactly that. And as I was about to say, like I said, since I no longer have her, I am still truly blessed to have you guys to go to no matter what.
Exactly, and it's like I said, I want to expand upon what Tiff Angic said. I look at it that I was being moved away from there to be with not only like-minded people, but actually friends, that are real friends, that are not those farewell friends, that at any moment, any time, we can come together and help one another.
And even though we all struggle with depression, especially, I don't know what the word was, but us coming together, and it's like I said before, us, united we stand, divided we fall. If we try to battle our depression by ourselves, it'll just either end up leading to something bad or something you wouldn't normally do, or either self-harm or I don't want to say the word, but suicide. And even though we struggle with depression, us coming together takes our mind off things and makes us stronger.
Yeah, but what's best about it is you realize you're not alone.
Yes.
Exactly.
And we may feel like we're alone, but we truly are not alone.
Yeah, because that's been one of the problems I've had throughout my life is I don't do well with rejection, and that's because I was rejected every day at a young age while I was in school.
Mm.
What happened was the very first day of kindergarten, the teacher accidentally stepped on my hand, and I was in so much pain I bawled my eyes out. And for the rest of the school year, all the other kids in my class pointed and laughed at me because they got so much entertainment seeing me crying in pain at that first day of school. And it lasted throughout the rest of elementary school and even into junior high.
Mm.
Everyone saw me as the guy who could be bullied all the time.
Mm. That's the thing. Even though I don't want to excuse my language. Even though I was literally an asshole to her, I always like I said, I always tried to make sure no one would ever do what I did. And plus, even still to this day, and like I said, even though I was a jerk, I still hated those who did it.
Mm.
And just bullying people for no reason and think it's all fun and games, but in reality, and that's another thing out there. There are people that struggle with depression. Like I'm going to use an example. There are some girls out there that don't look pretty and all that stuff. And I'll say this for guys out there that are looking at a girl and saying like, "Oh, she's ugly."
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Looks aren't.
It's
like, yes, and like my sister said, looks aren't everything. And I literally judged the girl I was with right off the bat through one of her profile pictures. And as I got to know her, I got to see the beautiful side of her. And literally, if you make fun of the wrong girl literally, if you, even on this day, I hear it happening through YouTubers and all that stuff. If you make fun of the wrong person or the wrong girl, they'll literally just suicide themselves. And when the class or finds out about it, they're like, "Oh, it's not my problem." And it just, I don't want to say this, but it literally just disgusts me. And I just hate when people do that. Bless you, man.
I agree.
The Pepsi.
Yeah. No, it's allergy attack. But no, I agree. That's how it was. The worst school year of my life was the 8th grade. I was bullied off of the schoolyard. I ate lunch every day all by myself in an empty classroom because the bullying got so out of control. I just couldn't concentrate. I actually went to the counselor's office and I broke down and cried, and that was like a wake-up call to the faculty at that school that, okay, wait a minute, there really are some kids who are having a really terrible time socially interacting with the other students. And because one of the problems I had with the bullying, especially in elementary school, was I was really tall, like taller than most of the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And not to get too off topic, but you know how like in movies and TV shows, the media in general, you know how the kid who's the bully is physically larger than the kid who's being bullied?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, it was the opposite. The kids who bullied me were physically smaller than I was, and that's why the teachers had a lot of trouble understanding why is the kid who's physically larger the one being bullied by the kids who are smaller. And that's why, with my own experiences, I hate that every time a kid who's a bully is depicted in the media, they're physically larger than the kid that's being bullied, because the exact opposite's true. It's just most people don't realize that.
You're not the only one, man.
Ever notice that there's not one TV show or movie, live action or a cartoon? Because I like to watch a lot of cartoons. You ever notice that the bully is never physically smaller than the kid who's being bullied?
Yes.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one of the problems I faced in elementary school, that the teachers couldn't understand, well, how could I be the kid who's being bullied when I'm so much bigger and larger than the other kids?
As they say, a gentle giant.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't hurt a fly.
Exactly.
Well,
a spider, yes, but
not a fly.
Yeah. Go
So-
ahead, Otto. Yeah. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, just and I had to cut the screen off. I'll have it back on in just a second.
Oh, no problem.
One of the things that when I ended up at the hospital, someone is like family, but a really good friend. He's married to my sister. He said to Nick, he says, "Well, do you think he's having this issue because you treat him like a child and let him buy all these Transformers?" And she was like, "You mean our Transformers? He's not buying them for himself. We buy them for us because that's what we like to do. You like to go and, and that's the thing too. People like to go say, oh, they're fine with watching a sports team. But it's interesting, even with your close friends that you think that when you're down, they're like, well, if he didn't buy all those toys, he could be an adult. Even though, every other time, they're coming to me wanting me to help them. And she was, and this is what you have to have is fine, good people. And she was like, but when you couldn't handle this, this, and this, who was there helping you? And he was like, she says, so maybe he's not a child if you went through this thing and he was there. But I've had a hard time trying to even speak to him after that, because I agree with what T.F. Engie says, is that, we already have a stigma to some people because of the hobby that we love. And that's not going to ever change. But what we need to do as a group is don't let someone project their own insecurities and their own, ideology on us. We need to come be together. And it's like, one thing I saw within the community is that sometimes the people that did some of the videos, they really weren't big Transformer fans. They saw a niche and they went for it. So with us, we kind of need to be like, okay, you can do that, and that might be what you want to do, but I want to make sure that I don't leave somebody behind. Because I'll be honest with you, I've had family members that have committed suicide. But I was in high school, and this was before I got sick with cancer. And I'll never forget his name. His name was Jeremiah Terry. Him and I fought like cats and dogs. I mean, we were on the same football team, but good gosh, always fighting. And when he came to me one day, typically, we avoided each other, or we were going to be on the field. We were going to get into a fight. It was just how things always was with me and Jeremiah. My ninth grade year, Jeremiah came to me and he says, "I really like to talk to you." And I was like, "Dude, I don't have time for you. I don't give a crap about," and I didn't say crap, I used other colorful language, to do with you. He went home that night and committed suicide. He put a noose around his neck and hung himself.
No.
So I have lived with that. And that's why I never turn anyone away. Shortly after that, I got sick with cancer. And then through cancer, I became a Christian. Because I had a Jesus moment that I couldn't deny me anymore, but it made me realize is that, yeah, I can't go back and change that. There's no way I can go back and prevent that from happening. But I'll be daggone if I have that happen to anybody else I can help.
You can't change the past, but you can't change what you did and on what happened to him, but you can change the future and help others and prevent them from doing the same thing if possible.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to share something with y'all. This is a saying that I say to myself, and I'll probably start orchestrating this into our podcasts and stuff like this. But I want you to just listen to these words and think about it for a second. In the past, you're always looking towards the future. In the future, you're always looking to the past. But all you ever really see is the present. And at the end of the day, we need to make each every day not only good for us, but make sure we're there to make someone else's life a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
That's one of the methods of thinking that I rely on is like, you never know if this day is going to be your last, so why spend it insulting someone when, for all you know, something could happen to you that your life could abruptly end? That's one of the reasons why I years ago realized we only have two choices in this life, to either be friends or enemies of everyone we meet. And I realized, life isn't permanent. We die eventually, so
it's just a matter of time.
exactly. So I figured if it's a matter of time, I might as well do the best I can. And for it, and the best I can is to try and make friends with everyone I meet. And that's why,
Mm,
but it's not like, make friends, like just to like make myself look better in front of people. No, that's not the reason I do it. I genuinely want to be friends with everyone. And that's because I didn't really have a chance to make friends when I was a child. So that's why I try to make friends with everyone now that I'm an adult.
mm.
Because you never know. Oh, if this moment you're talking with someone, it might be the last one. I mean,
Exactly.
Yes.
you don't want to take
And
that chance that the last time you said something to someone, and when you insulted them or made them feel rejected about something.
live, live. I think I'm hoping I got the line right. Live every moment as if it's your last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, a lot of people misinterpret that as saying, "Oh, I need to. If this moment could be my last, I need to help myself." No, you don't. That metaphor doesn't mean you help yourself. You help everyone else around you. That's what that metaphor
exactly.
means. And unfortunately,
Yes.
that's one of the most misinterpreted metaphors ever made.
Classic. And it's a classic too, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. It's
Hmm.
existed for years.
Mm. And also it's and I'd like Otto for you to correct me on this one, but since you brought that up, TFN Geek, it's also like one of my. I'll say this. This is one to you guys. This is one of my favorite lines from the third Back to the Future movie. When at the very end, when gosh darn it, hold on, Jennifer asks Doc Brown about the paper that said Marty was fired. She said she brought this note back from the future, but now it's erased, and she didn't know what it meant. And then Doc Brown says, "It means your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one, both of you."
Oh
And
yes.
that's literally
Mm.
and that's literally one of my favorite lines from that movie. And even though I fell off the rails, I'll I'll say that since the future is not written, even still to this day, it's always you can always make it a good one.
Oh yeah.
And, but
Absolutely.
yeah, and like I said, I feel bad for a lot of people that actually make fun of people and they suicide themselves, and the people that called them bad names and all that, they just don't care. It's just sad.
And
And
that's the reason why I shared that hotline at the very beginning. And I'll say it now since we're talking about the subject matter. If you are
yeah,
dealing with depression or dealing with suicide or suicidal thoughts, you can actually call 1-800-SUICIDE or 1-800 help, and you'll be able to find you'll be able to have the immediate care that you need.
Yeah.
Make sure I threw that out there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you sharing that, man. And yeah, and it's like also with the trolls that and I'm gonna say this, they are gonna be remained anonymous, but like they literally just wanna troll you and try to bring you down even like if they don't like your content. And it's like what I say, if you don't like it, you don't need to watch. You can go find someone else you like to watch. But literally they'll just bring you down and try to make you do things you wouldn't want to do and make you give up in life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I hate that. And
Oh yeah.
and like I said, that's the best thing about our community. We're together strong than we are apart, and we actually do care. Even for those who are watching that are dealing with the same stuff we're dealing with, or that is not, we still care.
Absolutely, and I couldn't be more happy with a great bunch of guys as I am with y'all. Very happy.
Thank you.
You know,
Oh, and
Yeah,
I
thank
may
you,
only
Otto.
have 300. Oh, yeah. You're what? Hey, thank you. As I've always said that you are the heart of this Transformer community, and I still stick by that.
Wait, who?
You.
Me? I never.
Yes,
Yes.
you're the one.
I thought.
Whether
I thought it was you, Autocorrect Primer, who was at the heart of our community.
you have all this. You have a lot of that Transformers knowledge that Otto doesn't even know about.
Well, I have to
It's also-
confess. I have to confess. The reason I have so much knowledge on Transformers is because I've never gone out there and been in a relationship. The last 3 girls I said I liked, they laughed at my face and told me I'd never date a fat slob like you.
Mm-mm.
Bro, come on.
Uh huh.
And I'm going to say this
Girl I've ever
for
said.
any man and woman that watch.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry.
Every girl I've ever said I liked, they could not get past my double chin and my big belly. They basically told me those are my fighting traits, not my kind personality, not the fact that I'm a Christian who believes in Jesus. None of that mattered to them.
And
That's not okay.
that's the type of people that we don't need. You don't need that type of people in your life. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, for me, it's like I told Nikki, I said, the awesome thing is that I may just have 321 subscribers, but at least I know that I have friends. Just as, I have friendship that means more to me than how many subs I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that means a lot to me.
Yes. And that's a good thing right there. And it's like I was saying, like on What Happened to You, TFN Geek, and I'm going to say this again. And for any man and woman that's watching, looks on everything. Just get to know the person and who they truly are. It's not about their looks. It's about just don't look at their looks. Just like
I say,
Go ahead.
like the scripture says, look at that person's fruit. Look at that person's heart. That's what we're supposed to base things off of. And I am so glad that I have y'all guys, because I know I got a great bunch of guys that have a huge, huge heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that we all love Transformers. Other than, and now thanks to crack baby Ruben, I'm now stuck on Power Rangers. I was trying to do everything I could to avoid going down that rabbit hole, but my God, I love it so much. I do. But, I hate to have to go, but my friend that's living with us, he's got a early appointment in the morning. I want to make sure he's able to get him some good sleep.
Yeah, and would you guys like to share where they can find you guys?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
So
By
you
all
can
means.
find me here on YouTube. You can find me on Discord. I hope you guys will pop by my channel. I love to talk everything Transformers. I got some great 8 stuff coming out. My most recent Soundwave review, I did my first ever thumbnail in which I inserted words in the thumbnail screen. So I hope
my
you guys
God.
will go and check it
You
out.
gotta teach me how to do that.
Oh yeah. Well, the technique I use is a primitive one. It's not advanced at all, but I can give you some tips if you're interested. Autocorrect Primer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. So just hit me up on so let me know on Discord if you're interested, and I'll run you through the instructions I did to do it.
I would
Mm.
definitely be hitting you up tomorrow on that then.
Oh, perfect. Just make sure you hit me up before 3:00 in the afternoon because I have to work the night shift at work tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So
I
if
can
you
do
guys
that.
are doing any live streaming tomorrow night, I won't be able to join in because I won't be getting out of work until 8:45 at night. Ugh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Same thing on Saturday. So,
Mm.
but yeah. And if you guys could please pray for me because they've shortened my hours a lot.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just afraid that if it shortens anymore, then my paycheck's not going to be that huge. So, and I won't have any money to buy any Transformers next month. So yeah, if you guys could just please pray for me that my hours don't get shortened any more than they already have,
Yes.
I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, you guys can hook me up on Discord. I use the same name I use here on YouTube. YouTube, there's my name right there. I think I'm pointing at it.
Yeah,
Am
you
I?
are.
Yeah. I use the same name TFN and Geek on Discord. Or did I try to do a Transformers trivia question every week? The most recent one, everyone's has been stumped by it. I'll say that about the latest trivia question that I posted on my Discord server. It's asking about if a Transformers character appeared in the Transformers Zone cartoon series or not. True or false? So you have to have some knowledge on Transformers Zone to get the answer right.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, and I'm hoping after this live stream cuts that since it's on where I live, it's only 20 to 8 o'clock, so it's still early enough in the evening that I might record another video review and upload it on my channel tonight.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, like I said, I did my Soundwave review last night, and I hope you guys will stop by and tell me what you think of it.
Oh, okay.
I sure will. As soon as I get off here, I'll do that because I was like, I want to see your review on that. I'm gonna watch that before I go to bed.
Okay, hope you enjoyed Autocorrect Primer.
I probably will very much enjoy it.
Okay.
And save the best for last, but Ruben, since you're making all those faces, would you like to show where they can find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Steam, Discord, Twitch, and Origin, my main channel, my gaming channel. I do want to go back doing Anchor podcast, but since my laziness is killing me, and plus I'm bored as hell, I need new stuff, go right ahead and check it out. So yeah, pretty much that's it.
And do autocorrect primer?
Well, if you come in this autocorrect primer, which you can see, TF Angie did it better. Bam. Bam. Right there. You can check us out there. Also, check us out on the Community for All of Us, which is also the YouTube channel, Autocorrect Primer. I have a giveaway on this at the end of this month, which will be
giveaway.
The giveaway, which I think the 29th is Thursday. I think that's right.
The 30th is
Thursday. The 30th. Good. Okay, Thursday, the 30th. So that will be the night that I will be doing a live stream. And you have to figure out if you want to. And whoever gets it first will be able to win the pumpkin wrapper. I do have a Transformer for October, which will be a Transformer giveaway in October. But you can find me on Anchor, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook now. And if you want to, our books, you can get it off of Amazon, or you can actually get our books off Big Bad Toys. Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and all those. And that's it.
And you can excuse me, and you can find me all on Discord at the Ghost of Lord Master Starscream. Same for Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. And also, you can also find all of us here on YouTube at A Community for All of Us YouTube channel also. And also on Autocorrect Primers Autocorrect Primers channel also on YouTube. And with that, I think that's about it. And Otto, do you think we should do, in your opinion, do you think we should do a prayer to end us out
I was going to
tonight?
ask if that was okay, if I could do that
Yeah.
before we ended.
Yay!
Yeah.
I love prayers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
No hats.
okay.
All right.
Your hat,
So-
Otto. Yeah.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
Yeah, no hat.
Lord Jesus, we come to you in prayer, and the first thing I want to say is thank you for these great bunch of guys. Thank you for letting them be my Transformer family, my good friends. Father, there are people out there dealing with depression. I got to a very dark, dark place with my depression. And if someone is at that point or at that break, I ask that you will let them see this video. Let them see that this community is exactly that. It's for everyone. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for caring for us. And thank you for always being there for us. Jesus, in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
And
Thank you,
also,
guys. Yes.
yes, and also keep in prayer for Dragon Slayer. He was here a little bit ago. He's also dealing with depression. He shared that in one of my previous live streams, and it's what inspired me to do this, because he says that when him coming on here takes his mind off things and makes him happy. And Dragon Slayer, if you come back and watch this later, I am truly happy that we make you happy, and that's the one thing that's awesome about this community.
Yes.
Is that we're here for you. We'll definitely keep in prayer for Dragon Slayer, and also for others who need it, and also keep in prayer for whoa, almost did that. Keep in prayer for baby Mahal. And yeah,
Yes.
and with that, yes, definitely. And yes, definitely keep in prayer for me for recovery is what I'll be saying, and hopefully I'll get back to normal very soon. And with that, I think that's about it. And I hope everyone has a good night. And as always, be safe out there. Be nice to each other, and live every day, or live every moment as if it's your last day on this planet. Good night, everybody.
Transformer rollout. Goodbye.